Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Riyadatul Mu'awana, and now I will explain about Lingua Franca. Okay, what is Lingua Franca? Lingua Franca is a linguistic system that is used as a temporary communication tool by participants who have different mother tongues. And Lingua Franca is Latin, which means the language of the Franks, is a linguistic term which means language of instruction or language of association in a place where there are speakers of different languages. An example is Malaysia or Indonesia in Southeast Asia. In this region, this language is used not only by native speakers, but by many second speakers as the language of instruction. Another example is English on the international stage. And characteristics lingua franca is a functionally divine term independent of linguistic history and the structure of the language. Terms that make a language can be used as lingua franca. The first, the language must have complicated characters. The second, the language must be liked by everyone. And the third, the language must be easily mastered by everyone. And the language must be considered prestigious by everyone. And there are no special requirements. And the characteristics of lingua franca are languages that have been widely used or developed widely and become an introduction in a communication between all groups. An example is English because it has become a language used by the international community as a means of communication for trade, science, politics, and other fields. One of the various languages used as a general or commercial language among people of various languages. English is used as the lingua franca among many airline pilots. The history of the lingua franca. In the Middle Ages, the Arabs in the Eastern Mediterranean referred to all Europeans as Franks, the name of a tribe who had occupied the land we call Frank, because there was a lot of Arab European traders in the Mediterranean ports. Eventually developed a trade language that combined Italian, Arabic, and other languages, which almost everyone could understand more or less, and was known as the Frankish language or lingua franca. Some languages actually succeed in becoming lingua francas without much change. So when the Roman Empire became vast and mighty, Latin became an important lingua franca, and at a meeting between Japanese and Vietnam business today, English is probably the only language spoken. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.